It is related to Article 21 that relates with the non-negotiable sea-way bill. It must indicate that the goods have been shipped. Okay, so whatsoever mode of transportation is being used, whether it is a chartered party bill of lading, whether it is a bill of lading, whether it is some other transport method, or whether it is a seaway bill, all must be indicating when the goods have been shipped on the board, and there must be mentioned the named vessel on the port it is loaded. It is stated that on what vessel it is loaded, the name of the particular port must be stated over there. And then it is related to Article 22 that relates with the charter party bill of lading that we have already covered. Article 23, it is related to air transport documents, or if the transport has been made using the air transport document, then it must be signed, and further it must be indicating the place of loading and up to which port or up to which point it will be discharging the articles. It must be mentioned therein. And Article 24, it relates with the road, rail, or inland waterway transport documents. Indicate, so the date of shipment must be indicated, as I already told you, that whether it is a railway bill, whether it is a bill of lading, whether it is a seaway bill, whether it is a airway bill, whether it is a chartered party bill of lading, all must be indicating the date of shipment. It must be signed, and further it must be indicating the port from where the documents from where the articles are being loaded, and up to what port the load articles would be dispatched. Okay, so all the details must be mentioned therein. Further, it is related to the Article 25, that is a courier receipt, post receipt, or certificate of posting. So courier receipt evidencing receipt of goods for transport must indicate the name of the courier service. So whatsoever courier services are being used, that must be mentioned, and also relatedly indicate a date of pickup. Indicate a date of pickup or the receipt or wording to this effect. So there must be some notation related to that must be expressively explained in that particular case, that the articles have been picked up on this particular date. Okay, so that must be there, or there must be some pickup receipt related to it, and further that particular date will deemed to be as the date of the shipment. So these are important. So if we say that there is a transport document, in all the transport documents the common thing is that there must be the date of shipment must be mentioned, the port or the name of the destination where the articles are to be dispatched, that must be mentioned. These are important points related to that. After that, it is related to Article 26, that on deck shippers load and count set by shippers to contain and charges additional to freight. A transport documents must not indicate that the goods are or will be loaded on deck. So if it is mentioned, it is not acceptable. If it is mentioned, like a transport document is saying that the goods will be loaded, or will be loaded, that is basically not acceptable. But if it is said over there that the goods may be loaded, that is acceptable. But if it is said that the goods will be loaded, that will be loading that goods in the future, that is not acceptable at all. Then it is related to the Article 27. So Article 26 is only and only related to which words are acceptable and not. So if the goods have been loaded on deck, that is acceptable. May be loaded on deck, that is acceptable, but will be loaded on the deck is not acceptable. Then Article 27, that is related to the clean transport documents. Now I told you related to the clean bill of lading. So it was a particular bill where there is no expressive notation, or cross related, that is declaring the defective condition of the goods, and further related to the defective conditions of the packaging. And I told you also that the bank will be accepting a clean transport document only. So clean transport document means what? It is a document, it is a transport document where it is not expressively mentioned, or it is expressively notated that the particular goods are defective or the packaging is defective, and this is best for the negotiation purposes. Okay, and the bank will accept this type of transport document only. Then it is Article 28, very important. It is related to the insurance documents and coverage. So I already told you, insurance is a very important document. It must be signed by the insurance company or by the agent of the insurance company, and should not be issued by the broker itself. And also the insurance certificate must be declaring must be declaring under an open cover, must appear to be issued and signed by the insurance company. I already told you. And further, it must be in the same currency as that of the letter of credit if it is expressively not mentioned in the letter of credit. Like if we say that the letter of credit is opened in USD, in that particular case the insurance policy should also be in USD, and the claim, if any there, must be payable in the applicant's country. So if there is any claim, if there any claim arises, that must be payable in the applicant's country. Okay, and further, when the insurance document indicates that it has been issued in more than one original, when it indicates that it has been issued in more than one original, then all the originals must be presented. In that particular case, all the original documents of the insurance must be presented. The date of issuance of the date of the insurance of the document must be not later than that of the date of the shipment, and further, the insurance document must indicate the amount of insurance coverage. If there is not mentioned anywhere in the letter of credit related to the amount of the insurance, it must be at least 110% of the value of the CIF and CIP values of the good. So if the insurance amount is not mentioned in the letter of credit, if the insurance amount is not mentioned in the letter of credit, it will be covering at least 110% of the CIF or CIP value of the goods. Just after the articles, we will be covering the Incoterms, that is, we will be covering the CIF and CIP terms too, where we will be understanding these both. Okay, so just remember, if not mentioned anywhere, then it will be 110% of CIF or CIP value. And further, more than one original means it may be the case that the original policy has been issued in two copies. So both the copies are original. So when the beneficiary is going to negotiate these documents, both the insurance policies must be there. And it must be mentioned therein that the insurance policy has been issued in two copies in original. In that particular case, all the insurance copies in original will be accompanying the negotiating document. Is it clear? After that, it is related to Article 29, that is the extension of expiry date of credit for presentation. I already told you the beneficiary gets how much days? He or she gets 21 days from the date of shipment, 21 days from the date of shipment for the presentation of the document, or up to the date of expiry of the letter of credit, whichever is earlier. So if the expiry date of the credit, let us suppose the last date on which the documents can be presented by the beneficiary, it is calculated as to be 21st of August 2021. Let us suppose we calculated the last date for presentation of the documents by the beneficiary is calculated to be 21st of August 2021, and let us say that particular date is a Sunday, or it is basically closed on that particular date. On that particular date, the negotiating bank is closed. In that particular case, the expiry date will be extended to the first following working day. It will be extended to the first following banking day or first following working day. Is it clear? Then it is the nominated bank must provide the issuing bank or confirming bank with the statement on its covering schedule that the presentation was made within the time limits extended. The presentation was made within the time limits extended, and that is acceptable. A statement will be given by the nominated bank or the negotiating bank to the opening bank or the confirming bank. Okay, and further it is related to Article 30, very, very important article, that is related to the tolerance in credit amount, quantity and unit prices. So if the words like about or approximately are used in connection with the amount of the credit, or related to the unit price of the product, and no particular amount is mentioned. So if it is mentioned to be that the unit price is 500 rupees per unit approximately, so if it is mentioned to be 500 per unit, rupees 500 per unit approximately, so it will quantify to what? It will quantify to plus minus 10% of the margin. It will quantify to plus minus 10% of the tolerance. So what would be the limit over there? It would be minus 10%, that is 500 minus 10%, that is a 450. So the range could be from 450 to 550. Is it clear? So the product price range could be from 450 to 550. So if the invoice was generated, keeping in mind that particular unit price, because it was mentioned over there in the letter of credit related to the price, product price to be 500 per unit approximately, in that particular price, this price range would be acceptable. This particular price range would be acceptable. This is also applicable in the case of the amount of the credit. So if the amount of the credit was mentioned to be rupees 50 lakh approximately, or let us make it easier. So if it was mentioned to be 1 crore approximately, what does it mean? It means there is a tolerance level of 10 plus minus 10%, that the letter of credit may range with the credit of 90 lakhs, that is minus 10% from 1 crore, and further 10 plus 10% to 1 crore, that is 1.10 crore. So it is ranging from 0.90 crore to 1.10 crore. Is it clear? So that is related to the tolerance, that is related to the about or approximately, when it is mentioned along with the amount of credit, or it is related with the unit price related to the product, And further, a tolerance not to exceed 5% more or 5% less than the quantity of the goods allowed. So if the words have been used, same words have been used for the number of unit products, or let us say for the quantity, in that particular case, the tolerance is plus minus 5%. In that particular case, the tolerance is plus minus 5%. The only condition is that the quantity must not be mentioned in the letter of credit. The quantity must be mentioned in terms of the packing units or individual items, specifically in the letter of credit. In that particular case, you can take a tolerance related to the quantity to be plus minus 5%. Is it clear? So that these are very important stipulation under the Article 30.